Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Season Vegan. I am happy that you are joining me today. Thank you very much, because we have a delicious, delicious recipe today. Look at this, you guys. This is a millionaire shortbread, completely vegan, obviously. And I'm really excited to share it with you. Now, as many of you, or some of you may know, I am currently in recovery for just a minor lip injury. I made it sound so dramatic, didn't I? In recovery. Just for a minor lip injury. So no taste test. But that's okay, because we're just going to focus on this delicious, delicious millionaire shortbread. Look at that. So let's get into the ingredients. We are going to be splitting this up into like 3 basic layers. So the first layer is the shortbread. And for the shortbread, we're going to need butter. And this butter is soft. You're going to want to make sure that your butter is at room temperature for the shortbread. And then we have some salt, some sugar, and flour. Now the next layer is going to be our caramel layer. And for that, we're going to need light brown sugar, some light corn syrup, sweetened condensed coconut milk, baking vanilla extract, and then some butter. And this one can be cold, hard. It doesn't have to be soft like the shortbread one. And then the third layer is our chocolate ganache. Need I say more? So we're going to use our vegan chocolate chips and some coconut cream and then sprinkle some salt on top. So 350 is what I'm setting the baking or the oven to. Excuse me, I'm tired, you guys. I'm tired. Anyway, it's been a long week. So here we go. I also wanted to show you this sweetened condensed milk. When I found this at the store, I picked this up at Walmart. I was so excited. I think we found it like my partner and I maybe like a few years ago, and it has just opened up so many doors for vegan baking. I absolutely love it. And then here's the light corn syrup that I'm using in case you're interested in the ingredients and all of that. And I don't know if I mentioned this, you guys, but this recipe, let's be honest, it's indulgent, it's rich, it's unhealthy, okay? So let's just be real. So here we go. We're gonna start with step 1, our shortbread crust. So we're gonna put the soft butter in, and it's very important that it's soft so that when we're creaming our sugar into the butter, it can become very, very creamy. So it's a very important step. So we got our butter and our sugar, and now I'm going to use my hand mixer and go ahead and cream it up. And if you have a kitchen stand mixer, like a KitchenAid one or whatever you got, use it, And I've also, in the past, just creamed my butter and sugar with a fork. So it can be done. It just will take a little more elbow grease and time, which is absolutely fine. You just use what you got. There we go. It is all creamed. Looks really good. And at this point, we're going to add in our flour. And it's important to add the flour in batches. So I did it in 2 different batches. Also, all the measurements, you guys, are in the description should you need that. So, like I said, we're going to be adding our flour in batches. So for the last batch, you're going to want to add in your salt. And it's a bit of a messy process. The counter was actually thrashed afterwards, like flour and sugar everywhere, brown sugar, and oh my gosh. So here we go. I'm adding the salt in now, and I just go ahead and mix it up. Boom, 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 and then I put it in, and I keep building the dough. So there we go, guys. I need to be careful not to talk too much because of this dang lip. But I want to give you guys all the information that you need. But yeah, I might be silent a bit more just to let this lip rest. So what we're looking for here is like a crumbly dough texture, and I'll show you up close in a moment. Just like that, nice and crumbly. And what we're going to do is we're going to press it into our prepared baking pan. And I just put a piece of parchment paper. I made a mistake at the end. I I like cut through my parchment paper. So really the parchment paper here was completely unnecessary. You don't really need to do it, or you could be smart about it and just put like a square at the bottom. I was being extra and I thought that I could like use the parchment paper to pull the entire like shortbread bar out, but once it was full of caramel and then the chocolate, it just did not work out that way. So if I were you, I would take heed of the mistake I made and just do a square piece of parchment paper on the bottom of your pan, and it'll work out better that way, or maybe just leave it out. So here we go. We pressed it in evenly, and now we're going to bake it in the oven at 350 degrees. And I forget what time, but I'll put it up on for an hour, I guess. Bake for an hour. Is that right? I'll have to double check that, guys. Sorry. I'll put how long you're supposed to bake it for on the screen. Okay, well, basically what you want it to look like, though, the visual cue is like golden brown edges, like that. So when it looks like that, we are good to go. Now we do need to let it cool completely. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and make our caramel. So we're going to put all of the caramel ingredients into this little medium-sized saucepan and boil it up. And this process definitely is the most time-consuming and tedious. I'll call it tedious because you do have to stand there and you have to stir it for like 12 to 15 minutes, probably 15, honestly, because you really want that caramel to set. And if it doesn't set, then the whole recipe, the whole dessert will be a mess. So take heed, pay close attention to this portion, put on a good video and just stir, and don't walk away from it because you don't want it to burn. So just treat it like a little baby when you're in this process. So here we go. Everything is going in. Got my butter, brown sugar, the corn syrup, and here's the condensed coconut milk. This is so unhealthy. I love it. Honestly, after the week that I had, this was the perfect thing to make. In my head, I was like, well, you know what? When life gives you the short stick, you make shortbread. And I was very happy that I had it. Now, I do hope that you all took my advice and you got yourselves in the gym, because look at this. Look at this. This is something else. There's a whole lot of good stuff that we should not be having all the time. So here we go. What I did was I brought the mixture to a boil. And once it was at a boil, I turned it down to like a gentle simmer. So I turned the heat down lower is what I'm saying. I started it on medium high and then I turned it down to low once it started to bubble and boil like that. And then after that, I just stirred until the caramel started to kind of pull away from the sides. Now I do think I could have actually kept going a little longer. So, really don't shirk or don't skip time on this step. Like really let it go. You're wanting it to look like a rich caramel that will hold. And it's not going to completely set while it's cooking. It's going to set while it's in the fridge. So you just have to use your best judgment. And yeah. So once you sorry, I'm just getting distracted. Looking at that, trying to figure out what was in there. It was vanilla and salt. So once you take it off the heat, then you want to add in the vanilla and the salt and go ahead and flavor it up, mix it in. Bada boom, bada bang. So that's that. Now the next step, and I did get a little crack in my shortbread, unfortunately. It was because of the stupid parchment paper. It was just such a mistake. Anyway, once it's completely cooled, we're gonna add the caramel on top of the shortbread. And then let me be very specific here. Once the shortbread is cooled, we add the caramel on top. The caramel does not have to be completely cool, okay? So we're gonna put the caramel on, make sure it's very even, and then we're gonna throw it. We're just gonna toss it. Just kidding, we're gonna gently move it into the fridge. We're gonna place it in the fridge, okay, for 1 hour, and that's gonna help our caramel set. And this is very important. Don't be impatient during this. This is a recipe that takes time and love and care. So here we go. We are now going to make our chocolate ganache. Let's go. This is so tasty and very, very easy compared to what we just did. So we're just going to take a microwave safe dish. I like to do it in my Pyrex. Add in our chocolate chips and our coconut cream. Microwave it for 30 seconds. Take it out, mix it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then put it back into the microwave for another 30 seconds. And at that point, it's gonna look like this. Glossy, decadent, delicious. Look at that. I could drink it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're nearing the end, guys. We've made it. So here we go. We're gonna pour our ganache on top, evenly spread it out, and it's gonna go back into the fridge to finish setting. And we're just going to have to try our best to be as patient as possible before we cut into it. So just like forget that it's in your fridge, do something else, and then come back to it and be like, oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to evenly spread it out. So satisfying. Lordy. Oh, Lord. That is good. That is good. Mm-hmm. And this was such a treat for me this week. Let me be honest, such an absolute treat. So if you need something like this in your life, it is so worth it, you guys. Delicious vegan treats made with love. So here we go. This delicious thing is gonna go in the fridge. Oh, I forgot the sea salt. That's right. The sea salt is such a good element. It really, that like sweet, salty caramel, you guys, it's just like the perfect combination. Chocolate and salt and caramel. And then like a shortbread crust. Need I say more? Like, oh, my mouth is watering. I'm so happy I still have some in the fridge. I'm gonna have to work double time in the gym though. There are two sticks of butter. 2 butters of sticks. 2 sticks of butter in this. Anyway, into the fridge it goes. Love ya. There you go. And then when it is done, it can be sliced. Now, I did end up slicing into this way too early, okay? Because I was impatient. I'm like telling you guys to be patient and all this stuff. It's because I want you to learn from my mistakes. So I did slice into this too soon. And I pulled out a few of them. And those few that I did pull out were kind of like gooey. Look at this, you guys. Oh my gosh, delicious. Like messy and gooey, but delicious. So it's up to you. If you want to be impatient like me, you can do it. It's going to be absolutely divine. But if you see how the caramel is fully set, see that how it's kind of like gooey while it is delicious. That's not exactly what you want. So what I did, I just couldn't wait. That's why. I couldn't wait. I needed to try it, and it was absolutely divine. But what I did was I put it back into the fridge so that the rest of it could set. And these are the ones that didn't quite make it. They're an absolute mess. Well, the ones that I put back in the fridge turned out perfectly. So thank you guys. See you next time. Bye.